when the bride and groom walked back into the reception hall. There were maybe 20 or 30 people left, kind of centered around the bar, a few still seated at tables, and pretty much most of the crowd had been gone for a few minutes. In a second, I'm going to tell you why. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. I want you to know this for a fact. It is possible to conjure up energy. It's possible to manufacture energy. You can change the pace of your words. You can increase the volume of your voice. You can talk with greater intensity. Preachers do it all the time. Some motivational speakers do it. And there's good reason for that sing-song type of a voice, or that accentuation of a particular point, or more concise articulation of something they want you to remember forever. And at a wedding or any other kind of event, it's pretty common as well. But there's also a reality that unless you're talking about the antimatter space generator on the Star Trek Enterprise, or some technology that I've seen a lot of videos about creating energy from the space that exists in our atmosphere, but all of these patents keep getting snatched away by military and other involved government entities that don't want the world to know that you can create free energy from nothing. I don't know how true it is. I'm not that much of a scientist, and frankly, if the government keeps stealing it all, I'm not sure that we can prove that it was ever there. Like aliens. I digress. The reality is, most people attend an event, whether it's a network meeting with 10 or 12 people, a large public gathering like a Chamber of Commerce meeting or something of that nature, a church gathering, a school event, a graduation, a wedding, a prom. They attend with a certain level of energy and expectation already in them. They come with that energy. And a lot of times that energy has to do with the level of celebrity of the person who's going to be on the platform or at the front of the room, the level of celebrity or at least acknowledged relationship with the bride and the groom, with the school event. If kids are coming for a homecoming or they're coming for a prom, the amount of money that they paid for the ticket and the date that they came with, that generates a whole lot of energy. So there are natural and innate reasons that we show up somewhere with energy. And then there are times that on the way to that somewhere, all the energy gets sucked out of us in a car accident or a speeding ticket along the way, or we're late or we're frustrated, and all the positive energy seems to flow away. Now, there are some entertainers and speakers and DJs that I've worked alongside who, man, they just come to the room with a lot of positive energy, and light and life are just flowing from them from the time they walk into the room. And there are times that even that can't move or motivate a flat crowd. Trust me, I've been on both sides. I've spoken to high school students that are so wired you can't hardly get them to be quiet between your breaths long enough to get out the next sentence. But I've also spoken in places with 200 or 300 people in the room that I share ideas that make me laugh and cry on the inside, and they look at me like I'm paint drying. And it's really hard to motivate that crowd. In fact, it wasn't too long ago I spoke to a crowd like that, and people who watched the video later said, man, I was laughing and I was crying and I was just wondering why the crowd was so quiet. Well, there was another person who spoke to that same crowd who got so frustrated, he walked off the stage and left the event because the crowd was emotionally non-responsive. How would you like it if you kissed your spouse 4 or 5 times and every time you got a flat face, you got no lips puckered back, you got nothing in return? See, that's what it's like to MC, speak, or DJ in an audience where there is no energy. That doesn't mean I don't bring my own. Trust me, I got some. But I can only give it out so long before it comes back. So why would you ask, would the entire wedding reception be gone when the bride and groom came back in? Because back in the room was their third time back in the room. First, they made their grand entrance and had their dances. Next, they left for a little private gathering of their own, just the two of them. Then they came back in. Then they left again for a photography photo shoot because it was sunset. And they were gone 2 full hours. Let me just tell you, when the guests of honor, when the celebrities of the event, when the main host of the banquet leaves for more than 50% of the event, there's not going to be any energy. They didn't come for the entertainer. They may have come for the alcohol, but that won't keep them very long. If they drink a lot of alcohol, they probably have some at home anyway, and they don't have to worry about a DUI. So they may stay for a little alcohol. They may stay for a few friends. But if they came for the bride and groom is what they expect to see. If they came to hear a world-famous keynote speaker or T.I. or T-Pain, and they don't show up, they're not staying around long. You cannot manufacture or conjure up energy when there's not any already there. And for the purpose or reason that your guests have arrived, that's what's going to keep them there. So don't try to manufacture energy. Use the energy behind the intention that they came with and keep pushing it in the same direction. No matter what the environment or how many people show up, though. The option, the opportunity, the challenge for you to bring positive energy where you show up should always remain on the top of your mind. If you show up with positive energy, at least some will be there. And if you don't count on anybody else bringing it. If you want positive energy, bring it. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.